Does anyone else take downvotes personally? At first yes, but I've worked hard on leaving what I have to say even with downvotes. Kind of like my own little exposure therapy. Sometimes a crowd of downvotes does not mean you're wrong. It means the audience around you disagrees. I try to be respectful yet stand by what I believe in. Occasionally yes, but here's something that's helped me. Downvotes don't always mean you're wrong. They just mean people disagree. If I said, "The Earth is round," in a Flat Earth subreddit, I'd get downvotes galore even though I'm objectively correct. Yes, I've even deleted comments, accounts BC of it LMAO. I will literally delete comments if I notice they are being downvoted. Always feels awful to see the zero next to the arrow. Honestly, personally, I can't really care at all. Why is the autism test so ridiculous? My evaluator informed me of the vocabulary portion of the test, which was a surprise. Never thought autism had anything to do with vocab. But I told her that that test seemed a little unfair because I'm an avid reader and an author. Any issues I may have had with vocabulary were worked out 30 plus years ago in school. She assured me that it wouldn't make a difference. Just to try my best, then she hit me with the "Carl stumbled maladroitly as he tried to catch his balance." Tell me, what does maladroitly mean? For the next half hour. It was such a confusing aspect of the test. It seems like it would so obviously be dependent on the individual, rather than whether or not they are autistic. Toys? I don't get it. Also, a lot of skills you may not had as a child, you could have learned as an adult. Like if you have to tell a story, you could remember a story and just change characters. Unfortunately, as awkward as these tests seem, they exist for a reason. I didn't have to do this when I got diagnosed, but the reason it exists is to see how you take the prompt. A lot of autistic kids will line up their toys instead of using imaginative play. I would make scenes with mine. I still have a collection of dolls that I do this with to this day. I can understand why it seems childish, but it is meant to test your reaction. If it's frustrating or difficult to come up with a story on the spot, it's a sign you struggle with it. Autism is a spectrum, and there are autistic people that would have different reactions to these tests as well. Some who this test would be great for. Leave your shame and embarrassment at the door. The doctor isn't going to laugh at you for your symptoms as for choosing whether to get a diagnosis or not. It comes down to if you need help. My mom was pretty sure I was autistic from the time I was a small child. I struggled hard then, but it became unbearable when I tried to move out. On top of it, I had ADHD that made college impossible for me. So getting my diagnosis meant getting accommodations and medication for my ADHD to get my life back together. For me, I could not be okay without accommodations, which I needed a diagnosis for. You can choose to keep your diagnosis private as well. Only share what you want to share. I believe this is important advice for anyone undergoing the assessment. Some of the questions won't feel like they make sense. Some will seem childish or awkward. They are testing not just your answers but your reactions. This is probably going to go down poorly, but there's something entertaining about seeing so many people post about how they hated the assessment process, specifically because of the bits that were assessing things autistic people find difficult. When I was getting my assessment, the doctor asked me what things I liked, and I spent most of the time talking about my special interests. He also asked me to walk down a hallway and then told me I have shitty coordination. Do you ever just bonking my head makes my mind clear? Lol, especially if it's a Pepsi bottle full of air. Laughing face, it's so soothing. Yes, it feels weirdly good, and I also love the bonking sound it makes. Classic pastime. Ooh, thank God it's not just me. Suffered from depression after my ESA cat passed away. I'm sorry about your cat's passing. Fly high. Just sending you a gentle hug from another autistic cat person. Just sending love and understanding, as I know how hard it is to lose a member of the family like that. I lost my best buddy way too young to an undiagnosed medical condition a few months ago too. He was my unofficial support dog and used to give me a real sense of purpose, which I struggled with a lot initially. So I really do understand that feeling. Losing him really set me back in terms of managing the depression and anxiety too. But have started to make progress again in time. It has certainly been a challenging time. But time does start to heal and the happy memories are starting to outweigh the moments of sadness. And you do start to find ways to cope with it all. I wish I had the levels of insight you seem to have into your needs at your age. Heck, I wish I did now in my mid-30s. For what it's worth, you sound like you are doing all you can do to take positive, actionable steps to managing the challenges you are facing. I sincerely wish you all the very best, and I hope you are able to get the support you need in doing what's best for you. Please don't lose sight of hope. Wishing you all the very best and hoping that everything works out for you.